Hi, welcome to our new series. It's Homeownering Projects. And it's a series where I take on common household repairs and report back to you on, is it worth doing yourself? Did it really save money? And how much time and effort is involved? So you can decide if it's something that you want to do for yourself. So the first project that I'm going to do is called caulking your tub. It's a common problem. Your old caulk might have holes, it might look ratty. You want to make it look nice, replace it, make sure it's waterproof so that you don't get further water damage in your bathroom and lead to more repairs. I'm not a contractor, so I'm not an expert. I'm just a homeowner, and I just watched a lot of YouTube videos myself, and I'm just reporting back on the effort. I'm going to list the ones I watched in case you want to dive in and get some real expertise. Okay, so the things I'm going to go over today are the materials that you need, the cost benefit, how much would you save by doing it yourself versus the cost of materials, the time it takes, how to do it, the results, which I'll show you, and also my opinion on is it worth it or not. Okay, so here are all our materials. We've got a utility blade, which is this cool tool here, which has its own type of blade that slides out. And then we have this is called a razor blade scraper. So it's a regular razor blade in this tool. And you also want to get the blades for each of these. So this is for the razor blade. Sorry, this is for this. These are actually, the extra blades are inside here. But you want to have extras because you're going to make a mess and they're going to break, unfortunately. Here are some rags, just common rags. This is a paintbrush. So just for sort of brushing away things as you go. Paint thinner, which you're going to use to loosen some of the caulk that's left and remove it, and gloves, obviously, because it's messy. Silicone mold-free caulk that's appropriate for tubs and showers, and also a caulk gun to apply it. You're going to want a painter's tape. So this is blue painter's tape, a bottle filled with just a regular spray bottle with water, with a little bit, I made 2 or 3 drops of dish soap. And if you are like me and you have grout that you have to remove as well as caulk, you get a grout remover. And that's it. Okay, so now for the cost analysis. So out of all this stuff I bought $61 worth of supplies. And I figure out of those, $44 of that are tools that I can use again for other projects, which leaves $17 specifically spent for this project in terms of the caulk and the painter's tape. Now the quote I got was for $150. So if I subtract all of the supplies from that, I'm left with saving $89 to do the caulking myself. So we'll see if it's worth it. But the other thing is that I have another shower and I have another sink that are also in need of repair. And for each of those, it would probably be about $150. So I might save another $150, or if I deduct the cost of the caulk and the tape, a little less. So let's see if it's worth it. So here I am in my tub, and I highly recommend that you wear shoes because we're working with sharp tools. And I have to say, the first time I tried this, I was not wearing shoes and I dropped one of these near my foot. And wouldn't that be tragic if I cut a toe off? What I did in here is I actually did this work before, which is I came in here and removed the caulk. So the caulk is the spongy material. Grout is this sort of cementy looking thing that you see between tiles. And for some reason, it's on the tub between the tile and the tub where it shouldn't be there. It should really just have the caulk, which is the spongy waterproof stuff. And what happened is my grout had caulk over it. So I had to actually chip all of that caulk off. So for you, you may be done after that because you just take the caulk off and then you just put new caulk in. But for me, I have another step, which is also to remove this grout. So the way that you remove caulk, here's some up here that's kind of old, I'm going to remove it, is you basically just loosen it from the side. You push in with your blade. I don't know if you can see that, or if I use this one better, you can see it. But you're going to want to get in there and just cut it out. And you can just go alongside it. And then what happens is You cut alongside, and then you're going to be able to pull some of these long strips out, which is what I did here. And this is old cruddy caulk that you want to replace. And it's kind of fun, actually, to do. So I did all this here. I'm also going to show you how to do the getting the grout out too, in case you have that problem as well. As I mentioned before, I had removed all the caulk which was on top of the grout, and now I'm left with this super hard material here. It's like cement. And so I bought this grout removal tool, and the guy told me, oh, it's so easy, just use this tool, it comes right out. Well, I've been hacking away at this for about 45 minutes, and I just made this tiny little hole. You can see how much more I would have to go. And so I did a little more research, and I discovered that I could actually just remove all the dust, clean it up, and actually just put on caulk on top of it. So that's what I'm going to try next. I think that this is a real job for an expert. I'm not really well equipped for this. It took a lot of effort. I'm tough, but I don't think that I can really do this myself. So, and it certainly is a lot harder than they make it look in the YouTube videos, or else I have like just the hardest grout ever. Okay, so after you've removed your caulk, then you just want to brush along here and get out all of the dust and things so that you have nothing that the caulk is going to stick to. So you're just going to remove all the debris. You can use your cloth. If you have some caulk that you can't get up, you can use mineral spirits to get it. But if you make this very wet, then you have to allow it to dry out before you do the caulk. Okay, now I've gone ahead and taped up the tub so that I can get a nice even line around it. Okay, so I've got my caulk gun all loaded up, and I'm going to go ahead and caulk around the sides here and show you what it looks like. Okay, now I finished the caulk, and I did quite a messy job, but I'm going to even it out next. So I've got my spray bottle, which has water with a little bit of dish detergent, and I'm just going to spray it and use my finger to just smooth it down. Okay, and here's what it looks like after I put the caulk on. So you can see it's between the two pieces of blue tape, and I used my finger to smooth down to try to get the same depth of caulk all the way around and make it smooth. Hopefully it'll work out. Okay, so here are the results. So I removed the blue tape, and you can see that I got a pretty good line. I think I improved actually as I went around. And it's pretty even, and that's mostly due to the blue tape. Okay, so how much time did this project take? Well, it took about a half an hour for me to shop for the materials. I have a local hardware store that I can just walk to. It took me another hour and a half to chip away at all of the caulk and get that out of the way. It took me 45 minutes to chip away at the grout that was underneath, but if you don't have grout underneath, which you probably won't, you can skip that step. And then it took a little over an hour to tape the tub and then apply the caulk to the tub. So overall, a little over 4 hours, maybe 4.5 end to end. But that does not include the time I took watching YouTube videos about how to do this, or figuring out what to do when I couldn't remove the grout. So that took some time as well. Okay, so now the most important question, was it worth it? I would say I'm not entirely pleased with my results. I think that if I had practiced a bit, I could have done a much better job. And I think that the taping was key. So definitely tape. But then on the other hand, if I was really good at caulking, if I get experienced at caulking, I think not using the tape and just applying a really even sheet of caulk and being able to see better where it was going would maybe end up with better results. I don't know. I am confident though, with the practice I got from this, that the next caulking job I have will go a lot smoother, because the biggest thing was really knowing how much caulk to lay down, what it felt like to use that gun. It's kind of like icing a cake, but you have to know how much pressure to apply. I mean, to be honest, I probably used, well, I know I did use up my entire bag of gloves trying to remove all of the caulk that I put down because I put way too much down at first. So that was an unknown. The other thing I would say I learned is that when I got to having to open the caulk, in the YouTube videos it showed that you need a nail, or sometimes the nail comes with a tube of caulk. I didn't have that, so I actually had to run around the house and I found this lawn ornament, and I actually had to use this to stick in and puncture the plastic seal here in order to use it. So that was another unexpected thing. I'd say if I only had to remove caulk, it's a completely doable job. Having the grout underneath added a big unknown. There wasn't a lot to look at online in terms of how to do that. And the YouTube videos I watched on it made it look really easy. So I didn't really expect to have such a hard time with that piece. I mean, you can see my bathroom. It's really from the 1960s. I need to update it at some point. But it'll do for now. So if I had a brand new bathroom and I really wanted it to look pristine, I might hire an expert to do it. But caulking is fun. I really enjoyed it. And I think that there are certainly a lot of other things you can caulk. Just a quick look on YouTube comes up a lot of other interesting things that you can caulk around the house. So I think it's a good skill. I mean, I feel kind of macho. Do you want to get control over all of your household expenses? Well, we made a free planner for that. Just go to homeownering.com/planner and you can download it today. It's really easy, and it's what I use to plan my household expenses and put things like this in there, and also to plan home improvements. Thanks for watching. I hope this was useful. Subscribe to the Homeownering channel. Just hit subscribe. Do it.